Okay. So, here I am at the athletic club down here. Beautiful view, right? I just want to get a couple of thoughts in on the Ty Lue, one part of the Ty Lue Shannon Sharp interview. He interviewed Ty Lue, and apparently I didn't really watch the content, but I did watch Zay's video. I did watch 93 Zay's video on LeBron, on him saying that LeBron was devastated and called around and absolutely did not want the trade to go down with Kyrie Irving. And of course, in the narrative of LeBron and Ramon James, you have to play a lot of games, man. You have to make a lot of headway when it comes to what LeBron does and didn't do, this, that, and the third. So, as we know, the rumors were flying around after the 2017 loss, in which they got beat in 5. It was a relatively close series, but they lost in 5, a gentleman's sweep. That LeBron James was looking. Remember, this is the guy that said we needed another motherfucking playmaker, right? And they went and got Darren Williams. It was funny because Darren Williams was one pick ahead of Chris Paul. But the rumors were flying around that the Cavs were trying to trade Chris Paul, and LeBron was pushing for that trade. Well, Kyrie Irving has been on record as saying he felt that, if you're going to trade me, you trade me on my own terms. And again, we all knew that LeBron was probably leaving in 2018, which he wound up doing, going to the Lakers. So, at the end of the day, trade went down the way it went down. Kyrie went to Boston, had a couple of decent seasons of Boston, one injury-filled. Boston got to the conference finals. The next year they got to the semifinals. Kyrie then decided to go to Brooklyn when his contract ran out. Okay. LeBron took his path. Didn't make the playoffs in 2019. Made it in the bubble. Kyrie's team in Brooklyn didn't make it in the bubble because he went there with an already injured Kevin Durant, right? Eventually one guy, LeBron wins his bubble championship. Kyrie gets to the finals with Luka. There's the rest is history. But again, we feel the need to revise history when it comes to LeBron James. And now Ty Lue, and again, a lot of people are calling it Cap. He's saying that LeBron. I mean, again, you're the former coach of the Cavs. You're the one that won the championship with the both these two, right? After they snaked, David Black, and pulled the coup and got him fired. They were the number 1 seed after the All-Star break, and they fired him anyway. This is very similar to the Adrian Griffin thing in Milwaukee. But anyway, so that happened. 1 second. So that. Okay, they had a beach tennis tournament today. So I guess they're announcing the winners or But anyway, at the end of the day, it's like, Kyrie went his way, LeBron went his way, but now they feel like the idea that 8 years or 7 years after the fact, that we need to come on and say that LeBron wanted Kyrie, Kyrie still on the Cavs. I mean, it gives a little desperate, man. I'll be honest, it gives a little desperation. And you know, it's clearly cap. It's clearly cap. You know, I don't. You know, again, this is what happens. LeBron has the say in the organization. We know he does, but then you know he'll act like he doesn't. He'll get his minions to act like he don't. And it's like, bro, I get it. He's not the one making phone calls, but to believe that his teams are not consulting him on the moves they want to make is just naive. It's beyond naive. And you guys can fall for it. You LeBron lovers can fall for it. But we all know, look, I'm not saying he was pushing for it, but I do believe he had a genuine interest in playing with Chris Paul. He felt that, and see, this is what kills me about LeBron. LeBron would have got a Chris Paul and still would have tried to run the show offensively, as he always does. Again, the idea that he needed a Chris Paul, a guy who's more of a facilitator type of player than Kyrie, is ridiculous. It really, like, Kyrie averaged 29 points in that finals. He outplayed Steph in back-to-back finals. He actually outplayed Steph in that game one of the first finals. But you know how it goes. You know how it goes. It's never enough. And so, you know, you're not gonna, Kyrie said, you know, you're not gonna trade me. I'm gonna get up out of here. You're not gonna, and you damn sure ain't gonna leave me stranded here in Cleveland. You know, so, you know, Kyrie went his way. He's doing fine. He's reflecting. He's never said anything bad about LeBron. You know, LeBron hasn't said anything publicly bad about him. They all say the right things. We know this. They all say the right things. But we all know that behind the scenes, LeBron is a guy he's never happy with what he has. He is never willing to say, and this is the difference between him and Jordan. He's never willing to say, hey, you know, let's take what we got, let's get better, let's figure out what we need to add, not who I need to get rid of or what I need to change. And, you know, and this is what happens. This is why the sustained success doesn't last. This is why Jordan could go 2 3-peats and LeBron, you know, is talking about 8 straight finals as he did it on 2 different teams. As he was always crying for more help, and he needed, you know, again, LeBron was quoted as saying, we need another motherfucking playmaker. You got Darren Williams. Again, Darren Williams was washed. Okay, but what do you want? Darren Williams did start that season as the Mavericks you know, starting point guard. So you took a starting point guard, you made him your 3rd straight point guard. You already had Kyrie, you had yourself. What were you lacking on playmakers? Remember, this guy plays with Luka now. Now I believe that Luka wasn't exactly his doing. I believe that. I believe that Luka wasn't his doing. But you know, he ain't exactly object to it. He didn't exactly object to it. I know one thing. He didn't want the lineup change where, you know, AD would go back to the 4. Because that means LeBron would have to go back to the 3 or reduce his minutes. And so, you know, it is what it is. So here we are now. I mean, look, Lue's capping. It's a see-through move. It's a see-through PR move, and they're good for that. You know, you can say what you want. I believe that. So, you know, it is what it is. Tie Lue, stop the cap. We don't need. I mean, you should worry about coaching the Clippers. We don't need another. We don't need another shill in the LeBron cap. We understand that LeBron is your guy, and you're his guy. So It is what it is. Peace, guys.